The following production is produced by the State University of New York College at Oneonta.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Red Dragon Sports. I'm your host, Geoff Hassard, Assistant Director of Athletics and Sports Information Director here at the college. And tonight we're going to be talking to our men's soccer program as we've invited into the studio head coach Ian Byrne, along with two senior players, Max Seelman and John Kowalski. So please join me after the break when we'll talk men's soccer.
What makes D3 special is the ability to participate in my team and within the broader community.
The perfect ending to a perfect season.
Being a D3 student athlete has completely expanded my life.
I learned how to lead. I really found a voice.
What time is it?
It's more about the experience rather than just a sport itself.
Without the experience of being a Division III student athlete, I wouldn't be the person who I am today.
NCAA Division III. Discover, develop, dedicate.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now in the studio is head men's soccer coach Ian Byrne. Welcome back to the show, Ian.
Thanks for having me back.
Well, let's start right off the bat with our big game we just played last Friday against Christopher Newport. They came in as the #1 team in the coaches poll. Talk about that game a little bit.
Yeah, and they're a legitimate #1 team as well. It's the third year in a row they've held that spot, and watching them play you could see why. But we were tremendous in the game. You know, it's the best we've played in many a year. Wasn't a player that didn't give his best effort. We matched them really very well for the first 70, 75 minutes. Once they got the equaliser, it kind of gave them a little bit of momentum. We had the lead for quite a bit of the match, and then towards the end, they just kind of pinned us in a little bit. And but we fully deserved to draw the game, I feel. And that's the second #1 team we've played now, because St. Lawrence have now taken over that spot. And we played them early in the year. We went up to their tournament. It was a great game. Again, we led that game. They came back. We should have tied it up in the last 5-6 minutes. We missed a really great chance. One of the players went around the goalie and couldn't get it over the line. But it was an even game. So I think in the two games against two of the best teams in the country, we've shown that we can play at their level, and it really looks good for us going forward.
Now, from year to year, when you start to look at who you want to build your schedule with the non-conference opponents, because of course we all know that the SUNY, day in day out is a pretty tough schedule in itself. Is that you're looking for? Do you just take the top 5 teams and try and say, hey, from the previous year? What are you looking for when you try to build that schedule?
Yeah, that's what I do. Take the top teams, and we have the Mayor's Cup, so obviously that. Because it's so well backed by the Mayor's office, we can offer guarantees to attract some of the best teams in the country. So we start with those teams, and that was where I was really originally targeting Christopher Newport. The dates didn't work, but they heard all about us and the facility, and so they wanted to come and play. So we managed to find a Friday afternoon game. But going to St. Lawrence's tournament, we have Messiah on the schedule the next 2 years. They're coming to us, we're going to them, and these are the teams we need to be playing. If you want to establish yourself as a program, to be reckoned with in Division III, this is how you do it. So that's our target.
So since we've joined Division III, you can maybe say that now maybe our reputation is out there and as a quality team since we've made that transition from Division I to Division III.
Yeah, I think so. I think the word's out that. While we're not quite at the girls' level yet, they've obviously established themselves, winning a national championship and continuously playing in the NCAA tournament. But I think the feedback I get from teams, the teams want to play us because of our style of play. We do play soccer. It's a good game. Teams enjoy playing against us. So I'm at the point now where I'm fielding calls from coaches that want to play us, rather than me trying to get that started. Yeah.
Now the style of play. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk a bit about the philosophy of the program and how we like to play.
We try and pass and move. We want to be a possession-based team. We want to get it down. We want to play at the back. We don't want to kick and rush. I don't enjoy playing that style of play. When recruits come to watch us, they want to say, "Wow, this is the type of style I want to play." Because I've always believed that players want to get on the ball, pass the ball, make things happen, and enjoy the game rather than just kicking it down the field and charging up. Right. So, this is our style. We're known for it now. The opponents in the conference all praise us. We know we're the best soccer playing team in the conference. We're proud of that. I am proud of it. And we're going to keep going and just keep building off that.
Now, that comes from your style of play. Does that come from your international experience back in the day? Why don't you just talk a little bit about some of the experience you've had internationally?
Yeah, a little bit. I grew up with my dad playing, so we were in England originally, Scotland, then went to South Africa, spent a lot of time playing there. In South Africa we had the European and the British kind of style of play, so it was a little mixed. And you just kind of develop it yourself from watching teams you like to watch and who you enjoy playing. And we like to attack with width, try and score as many goals as we can. This year we're actually quite successful. We're putting the ball away against good teams as well, and that's the key. So we'll keep going with the way we are right now.
Now, so when you're out on the recruiting trail and you're trying to spot those players to fill in, where you need them, right. What are you exactly looking for in players?
Really three qualities: pace, movement, and technique. We try and favor a game based around that. We're looking for players have to be comfortable with the ball. Even our defenders, we want them comfortable with the ball. Right now we have an ex-centre forward at centre back, a centre mid at centre back, and a striker attacker at right back. So we do that because we like them to be comfortable, play out of the back. And I believe that if you can't play the ball out of the back, it's very hard to be a possession-based team. So when we're out looking that's really the number one quality. Someone that fits in, that's comfortable on the ball, wants the ball, and is looking to play.
When you, recruiting, when you get them here on campus, they get to meet some of the guys, they get to spend time with the guys. Do they give you a good sense of some of the players that might fit into the program and the philosophy? And
yeah, pretty much. The ones we recruit that I scout really through the first 6 months of the year. We start around about January. We go right up to the end of the summer. We're out watching tournaments, watching players over and over. So by the end of that time, I have a good idea which type of players would fit with us. And then it's a case of getting them on campus. Once you get them on campus, that can be half the battle sometimes, because when they look around and see what it's like here, and then they see the soccer facilities, straight away that piques their interest and really gets them hopefully gets us in their final choice.
Right. Now, our soccer facility, of course, was built by Clark Companies, and it was all part of some of the field projects that we had when we added a turf field. What do you think that's done for the program?
Yeah, it's we had Babson wanting to come and play, Christopher Newport want to come and play, Messiah, because the girls team have been here and they go home and tell the men's coach, wow, what a facility. So it's just probably the biggest asset we have for our program in recruiting.
Right, and the location is, right there beside the field house, but it kind of sits down a little bit and people can sit on the hill. It really is a great atmosphere for soccer.
Yeah, and you saw Friday, it was packed, a huge crowd. Yep. That's just what you're looking to have. That's college soccer right there.
Right, now when you invite recruits to campus, do you try to find a game where you think they can see your style of play and kind of introduce them and let them watch a little bit?
With soccer, they're in their high school season as well. Yeah. So a lot, their high school schedule can dictate to them when they're free to come up. A lot of times I'll send them the list of games that I think are good choices, and they'll go through the list, see what fits with them, and pick the one that would maybe interest them the most. Obviously, Friday was a big game. With homecoming is going to be a big game for us, and then the next two not this weekend, but the following 2 weekends, we've got home conference games. So you'll often find the recruits are looking at a couple of the SUNY schools, so they'll come and watch a game and get to see both teams in action.
Now, let's homecoming. You mentioned homecoming. Certainly going to be. We're going to run a special event during that day. Why don't we talk a little bit about that for breast cancer awareness?
Yep. Cancer Awareness Day. Really, one of our recent alums, Efrain Garcia, along with the captains and the senior, they've been the driving force behind it. So we've got meetings going. Certain cancer groups in the area are getting involved. We're going to wear pink shirts during the game. We're going to be selling T-shirts. We're doing a few other fundraising items. We're going to have a local youth group from Milford High School come in and help us promote it and manage the day. And then on top of being homecoming, and a conference game with all the alums coming back. Should be another great day, and we've already got quite a few recruits lined up to come.
That'll be Saturday, October 15th, and we'll be playing New Paltz at home at 1 o'clock, just so everybody can put that on their calendar and make sure they get here, because certainly breast cancer is #1 killer in this country pretty much right now, cancer at all, so it's great for us to be able to give back. And now that ties into our community service and all the things that we do. You run camps and clinics all year long. I mean, talk a little bit about that.
Yep, we do that. We've done Relay for Life, Kids in Sports Day. We do the leaf raking. We sponsor the families at Thanksgiving. We do the migrant workers Christmas gifts. We run a 3-day soccer camp in the spring. We get 100 kids come up on campus. The guys are put to work coaching, see if there's any future assistants in the group. So we do quite a lot of things through the school, through athletic department. And over the years you start fine-tuning it. You know what works for you, what you're good at. And right now I think we've got the template down pretty good.
And then the players who play for us and they're involved in those projects, I mean, you can see the excitement that they have for that, and certainly is worthwhile.
They're bringing these ideas to me now. I'm not even generating them, and that's really the goal. You're looking for them to, be a leader in the community and make the first step. And this whole cancer awareness game came from the players. And there's a couple of them I think have been touched by, the disease in the family. So there's a big motivation amongst them, and they've been tremendous with it.
Well, and that's what we really want. We want to try and encourage them, be proactive leaders, and really good leaders make great teams and great programs.
And great alumnus donating money to us down the road.
Yeah, that's right. Just real quickly, if you could maybe highlight some of the players right now that have been performing well, and then maybe talk about a little bit how you think we'll fare in the SUNY this year, because of course we won the regular season last year. So
won the regular season. There's already 3 teams ahead of us in the regional ranking. A couple weeks into the season, just so competitive. There's just no easy games on the men's side. You have to be on top of your game, otherwise you could lose against anybody. Some of the key players, I think up front, Eric Fortier, finally he's coming through this year. We think he should be the best player in the conference. I think he's just a little maturity in his game as well. So he's been tremendous. Ray Fitzpatrick's a senior. First couple years, even though the talent was there, just really never happened for him. And then last year he broke through. This year he's probably our best player, centre midfield. He's controlling that area. At the back, Nick Gregg and Ian Tenza, they've really held down the fort, done great for us. And then the 2 guys you'll be talking to just now, Max in goal, he's a senior now, so he's got the experience. And John Kowalski, who's the captain, he's been a two-time first-team all-conference player, and he's the leader of the group.
Right. Now, those kinds of leaders that you have in your program, because of course, John and Max have been here for 4 years, and of course, even Ian Tenzer's been a 3-year starter along with Nick Gregg. I mean, how important it is to have those guys around as you bring in younger players into the mix.
Yeah, this year it's been great. It makes it easy for me. It's just because the kids come in, the freshmen coming in, the first group they look to are the current players, and they're going to take direction off them. So if they see the upperclassmen acting and the habits they exhibit, they're going to follow on from that, and then it just makes it so much easier that we can just keep this going the way we're going right now.
Right, and we certainly are going pretty strong, and we certainly hope that the rest of your season goes well and everybody stays healthy, because right now we've been pretty healthy, no big dings or anything, so that's great. And we hope to see you in the NCAA tournament maybe at the end of the year.
Well, that's the goal.
All right, well, thanks, Ian.
Thanks, Geoff.
All right, I'd like to thank head men's soccer coach Ian Byrne for coming by tonight. And after the break, I'll be joined in studio by senior Max Seelman.
WUOW 104.7 FM is the region's premier radio station, offering award-winning programming from National Public Radio and Pacifica Radio networks, giving you the chance to become more informed about the arts, information, and entertainment from around the country and around the world. WUOW is your community radio station. Join us and support the sound.
Welcome back to tonight's show. Joining me now is senior men's soccer player Max Seelman. Welcome back to the show, Max.
Thanks for having me, Geoff.
Of course, you were on last year.
Yep.
So you're like a veteran now.
Yeah, I was trying to get on camera.
Yep. Well, let's talk about a couple things. First of all, congratulations. You had a pretty solid week last week. You were ECAC Player of the Week and SUNY Player of the Week. Yeah. What do those accolades mean to you personally?
They're awesome. It means all my hard work paid off throughout the summer and the last couple of years. But now I think the focus is on the team itself and not me. I think we want to get our name out there and try to get a national ranking, some recognition for us.
Now let's talk about the team a little bit. We had quite a week. We played the #1 team in the country, Christopher Newport, in the coaches poll, and then of course we played Rensselaer, who was also ranked ahead of us in our region. What are those kinds of games? We tied Christopher Newport, of course, and beat Rensselaer 1-0. What do those games mean to our program as we try to build ourselves in Division III?
I think any game we play is huge. Obviously, in the SUNY, you need to win every game to do well, get home field advantage, and hopefully win SUNYACs, get an automatic bid for NCAAs. But those games are also huge if somehow we don't win SUNYACs. We're looking to get an at-large bid and playing #1 team in the country and getting a good result out of it. And beating ranked teams in your region will also help out at the end.
Right, because of course there's a few that we'll get to see this week. So coming up on our schedule, we have Oswego, who's ahead of us. I think Geneseo, Plattsburgh might be ahead of us as well.
Yeah, they're all ranked ahead of us.
Now we got those coming up later in the season. I mean, how do you guys really get geared up for those games? Because they're all. I mean, every game is 90 minutes of.
Yeah, well, I think any game you got to get geared up for. If you're playing the worst team in the country or the best team in the country, that's what makes a good team.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a top-ranked team, you got to come out every game ready to go, ready to win, like we did against Christopher Newport.
Now we also played St. Lawrence first weekend of the season, and now they're #1. They jumped over Christopher Newport, and playing another game like that, because of course Coach Byrne, he wants to play those teams because he knows that those are the games we need. So how do you think, as we go forward into our SUNYAC schedule, how do you think that's prepared us playing some of those teams?
I think seeing some of the best teams in the country, like Christopher Newport, St. Lawrence, RPI, I think it definitely helps us get to know our players better that early in the season, know what we can do, know what we're good at, know what we shouldn't do.
Right.
So going into SUNYACs this weekend, I think we know what we have to do, what we can do, and how to do it.
Right. Now, of course, you've been with our program for 4 years. Of course, you had 1 year where you were injured and you had a miss. But pretty much you've been our starting goalkeeper during that time, and we've certainly had we've had winning seasons every year. I mean, now in possibly your final season or whatever, I mean, what kinds of things are you looking forward to as you go forward?
Looking hopefully forward to winning SUNYACs, and if not, getting an automatic bid to NCAAs. Getting to NCAAs any year is our goal, and winning SUNYACs is our goal. So our first goal is to win SUNYACs and get home field advantage for playoffs, and see where we can go from there.
Now you're majoring in
communications and sports management.
And the past 2 summers you've done some pretty good internships. I mean, we talked about the MLS one that you had last year, and this past summer you interned with
the New York Mets.
New York Mets. What was that like?
It was a great experience. I worked in the sales department. Not something I really want to get into is sales, but I just want to build my resume and make it as strong as possible. Now,
what kinds of those experiences? You said building your resume. Certainly, as you go forward. What are you hoping to get into with
definitely want to get into sports, something in operations, maybe marketing, advertising. Doors definitely still wide open, so we'll see if we can go from there.
Yeah, and academically, we have a great academic program here. I mean, our student athletes really perform, at a higher rate than our regular student body. I mean, talk a little bit about the academic program for yourself and the education here at Oneonta.
Well, I think it's definitely great. I think having small classes like we do at Oneonta, getting to know your professors on a personal level, and getting close with people in your class, it all helps you out in the end. I mean, if you go to a big university, you're in class with hundreds of kids, you don't really get on that personal level. So I think having a small knit school like this and having small classes really helps out.
Now, certainly our faculty, there are a lot of faculty that are involved in some of our programs. We have a faculty mentor program, and of course we have Dr. Horvath, who's ours. How important is it to have someone from the faculty that's that involved or that close to the program?
I think it's great. I mean, a bunch of us talk to him all the time about work and what we have to do to get better. So I think having him there all the time and at our fingertips helps us a lot with our school.
Yeah. Now, does he just general advice? I mean, of course, he's been around. I mean, is he willing to his door is open to?
Yeah. I mean, his door is always open. Whenever we need him, we're there. Or he's there to help us out, and it's definitely a plus having him around.
Now, what could you point to one thing during your career here thus far that maybe stands out for you? Either academically or athletically?
I think athletically, just this past weekend, playing the #1 team in the country was definitely one of the biggest things, and last year hosting the tournament. And academically, just having the chance to get out there and do what I want to do and study what I want. It's been awesome.
Being able to take advantage of what we have here at
definitely.
Oneonta. So, and you certainly have done that to this point. And we certainly want to thank you for coming by and wish you the best of luck the rest of the way. And
thanks, Geoff.
Hopefully we'll see you in the NCAA tournament.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank Max Seelman for coming by tonight. And joining me after the break will be another one of our seniors, Captain John Kowalski.
It's a great day, isn't it?
Yeah. Too bad your boat's going to sink at 11:05.
Don't come closer. I have rabies.
Don't you wish there were warnings to protect you from life's risks? With diabetes, there is one. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that helps measure your risk of serious complications. Learn more at diabetesaonc.org.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now is senior men's soccer captain John Kowalski. Welcome to the show, John.
Thanks for having me.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm an adolescent ed major and also in Spanish, and I'm looking forward to beginning my student teaching program in the spring.
Right now, off camera we were talking about you have methods. Is that what it is? Not block or
methods? Yep. Elementary is for block.
Right. Still intense though.
Very intense. It's you do 50 hours of field experience outside of the class alone.
Now, what's that been like for you so far?
I haven't actually started yet. No. I'm going to start next week.
Okay. Now, are you looking forward to that?
I am. It's going to be interesting, kind of being in that classroom setting and getting started with that.
Now, where are you going to be located?
I'll be in Oneonta High School.
In high school.
Yep.
High school. Is now they're different. Now you're going to be the 9 through 12 or
9 through 12. They'll move me around. There's 2 foreign language teachers there, and they teach all different age groups. So.
Now, and you're going to be able to graduate in 4 years, which is pretty amazing to be a student athlete, you know, getting your work done and competing at a high level of soccer, which we know you have for 4 years. You know, what does that mean to you to be able to do that in 4 years?
It means a lot. It's very intensive. You have to be very organized and have good time management.
Well, that's what it is. Do you think being a student athlete has really helped you with time management?
Yes, you have to kind of plan out ahead of time what you're going to do right after practice.
Right. So you're going before practice and after practice every day.
Yeah, all day.
Well, certainly it's pretty awesome that you can do that in 4 years. Men's soccer, you've been a 4-year player for us. You've been 2-time All-Region. You've been All-Conference during your career. You know, those kind of individual accolades. I mean, what does that say for yourself? I mean, the training that you put in, we know that you put in the time, and you know, so what does that mean to you to be able to be recognized as a top player in our region?
It means a lot. You work hard in the off season, and you come back for preseason, and you work even harder with the other guys, and you have the other guys there to support you, and you support them, and you kind of push each other, and eventually, at the end of the season, you get awards that you think you deserve.
Right. Now, of course, we've only been in Division III for a short time, and I believe that you were part of our first recruiting class that was strictly Division III. When you came here as a high school, you know, senior, whatever, you visited campus. I mean, what about Oneonta said, I think this is a place where I want to go?
I like the campus itself. It's very well laid out, and what really drew my attention was the soccer field. It's a beautiful field to play on, and it creates a great atmosphere with the bowl surrounding it.
Right. Now, what was it like to, meet with Coach Byrne and kind of tour the campus with him, and you know, what kind of sense did you get from him?
That was interesting, meeting the guy for the first time. I think his accent really attracts everyone. He definitely knows what he's talking about when it comes to football. So.
Yeah. Now, he certainly is very passionate about the game, and he's passionate about Oneonta. I mean, he's been here for as long as I've been here, which is 13 years. So certainly he's been able to stay here and transition us through Division I into Division III, and certainly we play a great schedule, and we've already played a couple of top teams. For you, what was it like to be able to play those teams, Christopher Newport and St. Lawrence? And
that was great. Christopher Newport plays fantastic soccer. We were very fortunate getting them in our schedule, and also St. Lawrence. It was a tough loss, but we played them very close as well.
Now, certainly, I want to talk a little bit about last summer. You had an opportunity to play with a Division III All-Star team with players from all over, the United States. A a lot of people associate those with Division I. You know, those opportunities are just for Division I players. What was it like for you to be able to play with that team? And now you went to Brazil.
Went to Brazil.
Yep. And so why don't you talk a little bit about that experience for you?
Well, like you said, the team was made up of people or players from all over the country. And first we met in Orlando and trained there for 2 days. And it was really interesting kind of seeing how a random bunch of guys could come together and kind of play the same style of soccer. Yeah. And after the 2 days of training, we went to Sao Paulo, played 2 games there, and we won both of those games actually. And took an 11-hour bus ride to Rio de Janeiro and played the remainder of our games, which was 2 games, and we actually tied those. Yeah. So it was good to leave Brazil without a loss. Yeah. And it was a great experience, and I met a lot of people that I'm still in contact with today. Now,
playing at that level internationally, because you know the style of play, I know Coach Byrne talked about how his style is more probably fitting of football, traditional international style, being able to possess the ball. When you were over there, I mean, did you see that in the teams that you played from Brazil?
Yeah, I definitely saw that. They play a very similar style to what we play here. Keep the ball, and that's mainly due to the climate. Yeah. It's very hot down there. And if you play the direct style, you're not going to be able to run for 90 minutes. And fortunately, we kind of matched their style of play. And we actually only had 12 players there on our roster because some people had to back out. Right. So we were already short on players. And it was really good that they kept the ball and we could keep the ball too and not kind of waste our energy.
Now, what kind of so when you come back now to play with our team, how do you think that experience helps you this year in your final year to be able to lead our team, which you do?
It helps a lot. You kind of gain obviously more experience. You bring drills back that you learned over there during practice, and you kind of bring that to the team to.
Now, what are you hoping with this year's team, senior leader, captain on our team? We got our SUNY schedule now, our full SUNY schedule coming up. Last year we were the regular season champions. We hosted the SUNY tournament. Unfortunately we didn't get into the championship game, but what do you see for us going forward as we go now?
We have a big weekend coming up. We want to get 2 wins right off the start, and hopefully we'll build off the out-of-season play and kind of work our way and kind of grow as a team. And
so you're hoping that the games that you have played up to this point with the Christopher Newport, St. Lawrence, I mean, we played Ithaca, we played Rensselaer. You're hoping that those games have prepared you for the grind of the SUNY, which those games are full 90 minutes. Some of them are more than that, because we have so many competitive teams in our conference. So you're really hoping that has prepared you as a team and got you ready for those games.
Yeah, I do. And hopefully we hit our prime right at the end of the season so we can take it into the NCAAs.
Yeah, and we certainly hope that you're there, and we certainly wish you health and good luck for the rest of the season, and we'll see you in November sometime.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, well, thank you. I'd like to thank all my guests tonight, Captain John Kowalski and Max Seelman, a senior of our men's soccer team, and also head coach Ian Byrne, for joining us tonight talking about the men's soccer season. And we certainly want to tell you and remind you that you can continue to get information about their team and all their games and results on our web. You can follow us on Twitter, and also please check out our Facebook page as well. All the news and results are there. We'd like to thank you for joining us this week, and we'll see you next time on Inside Red Dragon Sports.